All right, so let's make it just a little bit more interesting because instead of just being able to increment the counter, I also want to be able to decrement the counter. And that's going to be non-local as well. And this time we're going to set val equal to val minus 1, and we'll return val. So now I have two separate functions that are both defined inside of the same scope. And instead of just returning inCounter, let's go ahead and return inCounter and decCounter. So I'm returning two functions now when I call makeCounter. And then this is going to be inCounter1, decCounter1. And this will be inCounter2, decCounter2. And then inCounter3, decCounter3. And then let's go ahead and we're going to do inc, and then dec. And then we'll just do counter 2 a couple of times instead of 3 times. So this will be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then for counter 3, we'll just do it once. And we'll do that in the middle, I guess, because why not? So this will be 3, 3, 3, 3. So my expected output is going to be 0, 1, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 101, 100, and then 11, 12, 11, 10. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 101, 100, and then 11, 12, 11, 10. So the important bit here, the new bit, is that since both of these functions are created inside of the same scope, they're both accessing the same copy of val. So the scope, val is defined for this entire scope. And so both of these subfunctions are accessing the same variable inside of that scope. But every time I call makeCounter, that makes a new scope. So I have a different closure for each time I run makeCounter. So I have 10s, 100s, and 1s. I'm just going to do one more thing to this counter and then we'll move on. So I thought it would be good to go ahead and add orig is equal to val. So this is going to set another local variable called orig inside of my makeCounter scope. So this is going to happen one time each time I call makeCounter. It's going to create another variable called orig in the same scope. And then I'm going to have a reset counter function, which is going to set val back to original. And since I'm just looking up the value of original, I don't have to declare original as non-local, but I will have to do that for val. So let's go ahead and say non-local val. And then I have another counter function. So let's return reset counter as well. And then here, this will be reset counter 1 and reset counter 2 and reset counter 3. And now I can add a call to reset counter. Actually, I want to have reset counter return val again. So, just like the other ones. So here we're going to do reset counter 1, and we're going to call reset counter 1. And so what I expect here is that this will be 1, 2, 3, and then 0, -1, -2, -3. So 1, 2, 3, 0, -1, -2, -3. So it works fine. And the main reason I did that is just to illustrate that there's really no difference as far as the code goes between this parameter that I define that gets the value gets passed in and this local variable here that I make inside of the scope. And I can have code inside of make counter that's going to get run once each time I call make counter.